Hey YouTube, welcome to patch 10.22 rundown. Patch rundown. So, welcome to those fallen from the divine. This week's patch is relatively small as most of the major outliers from patch 10.21 were tuned with the B-side patch. In addition to standard balance changes, we have a bit of a chosen theme this week. This will be the first time that we're chasing chosen bonus stats for certain champions to fit in better with the rest of their abilities. We're making additional changes specifically to chosen cultists and keepers to make them a bit more appealing. Lastly, we're updating the shot tooltip to include roll chances for chosen units. Let's get into it. System change. Players now take a minimum of 1 damage on losses. Cool. So, what would happen at during stage 2 is that someone would be running cultists, and then the last remaining unit would be Galio, and so the player that loses will still be at 100 HP. So it would be a little bit weird in that you could still potentially have a ton of people at 100 HP by 2-3, and so carousel will be a bit weird. So now you'll take a minimum of 1 damage on loss. That's good. It'll help make it so for like first pick and all that for the first carousel. So that's good. Stage 2 carousel. Chosen roll chances are now displayed in the shop tooltip. That's really good. Basically when you scroll on what's it called? When you scroll over the chosen button that shows if you have a chosen or not, it will show you the chances. So that's really good. Traits. There are a couple of traits that have an unintentional anti-synergy with the chosen mechanic, as they lose value with less units on the board, when changing the rules of those chosen to count as 2 units for the sake of their traits. Cultists chosen now count as 2 cultists and will grant Galio double the amount of star levels. For example, a 2-star elite will grant Galio 4-star levels instead of 2. Yeah. I don't know how. Oh, wait, no, I know now. Okay, so, you know how normally, what's it called? Let's say you had a elite chosen, and then you ran a TF, and then some other random unit that's not a cultist. You would only have 2 cultists, and so Galio would have less stats. So now the cultist chosen now counts as 2 cultists, so now Galio will still have, the roughly, good stats. Relatively equal stats to 3 cultists, so that's good. Keeper chosen now count as 2 keepers and grant double the amount of shields, so that's good. Let's see, you have again elite chosen. I think cultist 2 is like 150 shield, so she would probably grant 300 shield to herself. I think that's how the math works. I don't know, probably something like that. Dazzler attack damage reduction from 50% to 1580. So at 2 Dazzler, it will still be 50% damage reduction, but at 4 Dazzler, it will be 80% 80 reduction, which is pretty huge. It helps stop Jin, Talon. So that's pretty good. Dazzler duration from 5 and 15 seconds to just a flat 8 seconds. I think that's good. It's an overall pretty big buff to 2 Dazzler because no one's really running 4 Dazzler, so that's fine. 15 like by 15 seconds seemed a little bit ridiculous because your Dazzler unit should be able to ult within another like 15 seconds or so. So it seemed a bit off. So that's good. I don't think Dazzler is still gonna be used that much. What's it called? Because right now Dazzler is just not really a good synergy. Adept is really good, but you're not really running Dazzler because I would say a lot of the current carry champions right now are like magic focused. So like Jinx, AHRI, Vigar, so Dazzler is not too good. Against Sharpshooters it's not bad, but against like Magicom it's not great. Ninja 480 and spell power down from 150 to 140. That's a decent tiny change. A lot of people were complaining about like 3-star for Ninja for Assassin Akali. So it's good that they're toning down the power level of her a bit, so that's good. Sharpshooter damage reduction per ricochet. 65, 50, 35 to 55, 50, 45. So 2 sharpshooter got buffed and 6 sharpshooter got nerfed. Yeah. So you're doing a little bit more damage with 2 sharpshooter and you're doing a bit less damage from the third ricochet at 6. So I think it's not a bad change. 2 sharpshooter is used, you know, it's a relatively easy splash in for certain comps like Warlord, Fortune. But when you go 6 sharpshooter, it's like huge. Like your Jin and your Jinxes are gonna be doing so much damage. So I think it's a good nerf. Sharpshooter's been doing relatively well. It's been like a pretty overall relatively strong meta comp. I don't think. I mean, I haven't played too much Sharpshooter in a while, so I can't say for sure how strong it's been this patch, but I think it's been a relatively fine balance. So that's good. Champions. Fiora chosen bonus from health to max mana reduction. So before, when you got Fiora as a chosen, she would get, I think, like her her bonus would be like plus 500 HP, and now it's max mana reduction, so that's good. I think that's what, 25% mana reduction, something like that, or 20%, something like that. It's really good. That way with Enlighten, Mordor said that, you know, if she has Enlighten, she will probably be like 6 Enlighten. She will practically be invincible by constantly ulting. So that's pretty good. You can have a nice tanky Fiora. Lyssandra's ult targeting from the person she's attacking to the highest attack damage. So this is probably because of, you know, Dazzler. I think it's not a bad change. It's kind of like the Vigor change, but I mean, you're not really seeing people run Lysandra besides maybe like for Moonlight. So it's not bad. There's something else for Dazzler, but I don't see it affecting her too much. Vayne bonus true damage, buff that 2, 3, and 4. That's fine. I don't think she's a viable carry. Or she's a decent carry, but she falls off super late. Even if you had like double Rage Blade, Runaz, or like double Rage Blade like QSS, something like that, she's okay, but it's not, you know, don't expect her to be getting you to first place. But it's still pretty cool. She's still a cool unit. Tier 2 is just Vi. All about Vi. Chosen bonus from HP to max mana reduction. So that's good. She's gonna be ulting a lot more. I'm honestly not too sure about the chosen bonus change. I think health is not bad for Brawler, but Vi has her total mana is very small. It's you can, if you give her like blue buff or something, she ults relatively fast. So maybe you could try to go Vi carry with blue buff or something. I don't know. Spell damage buffed at 3-star from 600 to 800. So sure. And armor shred duration buff from 6 to 8 seconds. That's big. That is big. You can early Vi. You have some AD mostly AD team. You will be doing a lot. You will basically be doing like true damage for like 8 seconds. So that's huge. That is huge. That's really good. Akali mana lock after spell cast from 1 second to 1.25 seconds. That's good. So normally on the global cooldown, after unit ults, it takes them 1 second, it takes them 1 auto attack, before they can cast again. So now they increased it by 0.25 seconds. So yeah, you have to wait a little bit longer before Akali can ult again. So that's good. I don't know how big of a change this is. This is definitely gonna, like, over the long term, it will definitely hurt Akali a decent amount. I think it's fine. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's definitely a relatively big nerf. So we'll see. Evelynn 3 damage buff from 900 to 1400. So Evelynn 3 will basically be one. Well, Yeah, I would say be roughly one-shotting things, because, you know, you're probably running, like... Although I haven't seen Evelyn carry in forever, since Cultist is not really a viable carry. Not exactly a viable comp, so... but if you are running an Evelyn carry, she is going to be doing so much more damage, which is good. Especially with her execute, she's like... If she's executing things, she's guaranteed to one-shot them. So that's good. Although, what's it called? Right now, a lot of people are running Dragon Claw because to deal with AHRIs. So, and even like running 4 Mystics, so we'll see. It's still a good change because if you have Evelyn carry 3 stars, it's good. New damage. 3-star buff from 1300 to 1800. I'm not sure about this change. I know when you're running like Brawler Ash, it's not bad to, you know, also roll for 3-star Nunu, just because, you know, he gets a ton of HP, and we'll be doing a ton more damage with the ult. So it's a pretty good change, but the fact that Nunu has the built-in extra bonus true damage, not bonus true damage, but basically true damage if it has more HP than the champion is ulting. So, and I think it's like increase the damage by 50%. So, you're doing 2,700 damage? I mean, I don't think it's gonna be too big of a change, but if you're seeing a lot more 3-star Nunus and they're like one-shotting things for sure, then now you know why. AHRI, but nerfed at 1 and 2, 25 off at 1 star and 75. No. Wait. Hold on. Is it 75? No. 750 to 675. Yeah, 75 off. 75 damage off 2-star AHRI. That's big. A lot of people have been complaining about AHRI. And I don't know. So I've heard the complaints that people are complaining about AHRI, but also mainly complaining about Sedge, because the reason that, you know, you're seeing 4 Vanguard, 4 Mystic plus AHRI is that Sedge just ults, she CCs everyone, you even have an AHRI just to pull in more units together, clump them up more together, and then AHRI just double juke gauntlet, bam, destroys everything. And so I don't know. I think AHRI is definitely the problem, because, you know, she's the main one that she's just one-shotting everything. So that's a really good change. I don't think, because Sedge, the thing with Sedge is that she's just pure CC, relatively long CC, but still just like pure CC. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think Sedge is a huge problem. She is definitely one of the most, she's definitely a champion that you can splash into any comp because of how strong her CC is. But, you know, nerfing AHRI's ult damage is going to be really good in the long term. Ashe fixed a bug where 4 out of 5 of Ashe's flurry shots could not critically strike or be dodged. I think that's a good change. I think it just seems like a relatively normal bug fix. Okay, cool. Morgana updated her spell targeting to be slightly less random. That's really good. Holy cow! I watched a clip. I think it was on Fluffy HS, and 3-star Morgana also like 1 unit like several times, and it was really stupid. The times that I played Morgana, it felt so bad because she would ult 1 unit instead of ulting, you know, where everyone's clumped up together, and it felt so bad and felt so stupid. So that's good that they are making her spell targeting be slightly less random, because oof, it was frustrating to play Morgana and have her ult 1 unit and feel like she was useless. Okay, Ezreal starting mana from 75 to 90. That's good. That way he won't just get instantly assassinated by assassins in the backline. So he can actually get his ult off. So that's good. Lee Sin, primary stun duration from 3-4-10 to 1.52 seconds at 1 and 2. And secondary stun duration from 1.5 A 2-star buff by 0.5 seconds. This is big. It's been really it's cool to see, it's cool to see Lee Sin's ult, he kicks a unit to a corner and then he can, kick them out, which is really cool, really funny. But when you're playing against Lee Sin, it feels so bad because they're literally CC'd forever. You literally feel like they're CC'd forever and it feels so bad. And stupid, like, because you can't do anything. Even if you ran like Trap Claw or QSS, then wouldn't really matter. So that's good. Even though, what's it called, even though I think Lee Sin has 40 mana, right? So even if blue buff takes two auto attacks and he's a duelist, so he attacks relatively fast, I mean, I don't think it's still a really good healthy change. Lee Sin will still be, probably very much viable and still be really strong, but definitely not as definitely doesn't feel as bad to play against. Lilia damage to break sleep. Now it's just a flat 500. That's good. The problem with Lilia, well, I'd say there's probably a few problems with Lilia, but one of her main issues was that because it took so much damage to break them from their sleep so that you can do a crap ton of damage. Yeah, the main problem is that it would take too much damage, because by the time your champions won't be able to break them from their sleep to do the massive amounts of magic damage, and so they would just wake up and it's like they were only CC'd and Lilia didn't do anything. So that's good. Now they'll actually just take a crap ton of magic damage instead of waiting forever for them to wake up. Sounds good. Set chosen bonus from health to spell power. That's good. And his primary target damage ult from 35 and 45 to 40 to 60%. I think this is just 1 and 2 star. Yeah, 1 and 2 star. Yeah, good changes. Set's still a decent champion. If you can still slap some AP on him, like Jewel Gauntlet, Rabadons. Still a really strong unit. But he did feel a little bit, what's it called? In a meta where a decent amount of people are running Declaw and 4 Mystic, he definitely felt like he was lacking a bit of power, so that's good. Oh, Nunu and Willow will no longer eat set if he still needs to do sit-ups. That's good. I don't know if it was a bug or something, but sometimes there would be the case where you have Nunu and Willow just eat set, and so it's almost like a Lee Sin. Almost where like Lee Sin would kick out set, maybe. So that's good. He can still do his sit-ups. So I say he just gets ulting and gets taken care of. So that's good. Items. Luden's Echo bonus damage from CC'd or shielded to just CC'd. I don't think this affects really much. Only reason I could potentially see why they would do this, I forgot what Mort Doug said in his patch rundown, but maybe it's because to give Luden's Echo a bit more identity, because Shiv does bonus damage, I'm pretty sure, to just shielded targets. Now Luden's only does bonus damage to CC targets, so maybe it gives a bit of an identity, but this really doesn't affect much because you're pretty much just dealing bonus damage with like Nami and maybe even I think it's a meme where people are saying Sejuani with triple Ludens or double Ludens, something like that. But yeah, you're just running this on Nami, so it's like really doesn't change much. Rabadon's Death Cap spell power buff from 70 to 75. I haven't really seen anyone run Death Cap. Maybe like when you're forced to and it's kind of last resort, but it always feels like people are just running Jewel Gauntlet. So I don't know. Don't feel like it's a big change, so we'll see. Runan's Hurricane bolt damage from 75% to 100%. Huh. everyone's everyone's gonna be like slapping this on sharpshooters and like Jin and huh. That's interesting. I guess people were more likely to be able to slam it on Jin. I heard maybe some people want to say slam it on Zed. So this will be interesting. Although I haven't really seen Spirit Shade perform that well this patch because ever since the Force Spirit nerf and Shade nerf, that comp's kind of relatively fell off. So we'll see if I start seeing what's it called, Spirit Shade Zeds with running Hurricane doing a crap ton of damage. Cool. Shiv primary damage buff from 75 to 80, bonus damage from 175 to 240. Fix the bug where it could sometimes target invalid units during GA revival set sit-ups. I remember seeing a Scar clip where Galio took Shiv damage while he was standing on the side, which was kind of funny. So that's good. I don't think this does too much because even if you're running static shift work, it's not that as good unless you're fighting against like Riven. So I don't think this really does too much because the bonus damage only goes to shielded targets, and unless you find like, I don't know, Vanguard Mystic with like Fresh and Janna or like Riven comp, it's not gonna do. You're not seeing that many more stack shifts anymore, so it's fine. Zeke's Herald attack speed down from 40 to 35%. That's good. People were just slamming Zeke's on like crazy, so that's a good change. ZZ Rod Portal taunt duration down from 2 to 1 second. Yeah. The weird thing with ZZ Rod Portal with the taunt is that sometimes your melee units would walk like an entire circle around the taunted what's called the unit that has the ZZ Rod, so it was really stupid. So that's a good change. Fix the bug with a construct at 10 more AD. Fix the bug where you could access the initial taunt by equipping ZZ Rod mid combat. And then a couple bug fixes. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is some interesting changes. A lot people were saying like oh, Brawler Ash got, Brawler Ash is gonna get hella buffed. But other than that, I think it's overall a relatively good patch. We'll see. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.